All right, there we go. And then we have another banger of a panel coming up here. We've got Chris, Kush, Jack, and Oleg here to talk about venture capital and Bitcoin. So guys, come on up to the stage.
Should we sit?
However you'd like.
Yeah, maybe we sit, follow the...
It's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, come. Wherever you want to sit.
Right. Okay.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Building Bitcoin Insights from Leading Investors. I'm Chris Hunter, co-founder of Galoy, Blink, this conference, and a new neobank called Satoshi, launching in the US this month. I'm joined by 3 esteemed panelists, and hopefully you'll learn a lot today. I've got some structured questions to kick things off, and then we will open it up to you, so get your questions ready. First, we'll start off with some introductions. So Kush, we'll start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself personally and your firm?
Thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone. I'm Khushboo Khullar, the venture partner at LTNG Ventures. LTNG Ventures is a US-based VC firm, and we invest in Bitcoin-native startups. And in July 2024, this year, we launched another platform, which is a crowdfunding platform. It's called Thunder Funder. So if you are building something groundbreaking in Bitcoin, FOSS, do reach out to us. Our website is ltng.ventures.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jack Lee. I'm the founding managing partner of HCM Capital. We've been doing, the last few years, we've been doing the Bitcoin-related investment, I would say investment and education. Also, we do some incubation. What we are doing recent year is try to promote Bitcoin, try to let more people know about the Bitcoin. We're based in Asia. Actually, I'm based in Shanghai. I come from Taiwan. But I think, of course, we wish we can grow more population in Asia to be more understand Bitcoin, not Web3. However, our investment is a global reach. Thank you.
I'm Oleg, and I'm with Fulgur Ventures. We started to invest in Bitcoin and Lightning startups about 5 years ago. And when we chose our name, we chose Fulgur because it means lightning in Latin language, which was our thesis back then, meaning supporting Bitcoin adoption and Bitcoin scaling. And over the years, we have learned from this approach and started to look at other Bitcoin scaling solutions such as over Bitcoin blockchain such as RGB, and we support from the earliest possible stage to follow-ons in revenue generating and scaling startups. And over time, we have shifted our focus to emerging markets, including El Salvador.
Great. So Kush, maybe we'll start with you. Perhaps you can give a little bit more insight regarding LTNG Ventures. Typically, what stage of company do you prefer to invest? What typical check size will you write? And perhaps you can give a sense of how many companies you've already backed to date.
Okay. So we generally invest in seed, pre-seed, early stage companies till Series A. And the check size typically on LTNG Ventures is 100K to 500K. And on Thunder Funder, which is a crowdfunding platform, it's 100K to $5 million. And on LTNG Ventures, till now, we have invested in 43 companies. Some of the prominent ones are Galoy, Blink, Unchained, Azteco, Osmo, Relay, Satzbach, and many more. Yeah.
Great. Jack, over to you.
Hello? Hi. Yeah. I think our target focus is, it depends. But recent year, because the Bitcoin the whole system. I mean, most are still quite early. Most are the founder is early stage. So typically we do like from 100K to up to $1 million. But it depends on the case by case. So yeah, that's the question.
And how many investments have you made thus far?
I'm sorry, investment?
How many companies have you invested in?
I would say in the last, if you say total 8 to 9 years, of course, the early day we have more exposure on the crypto, the blockchain space. But of course, the recent year only Bitcoin. I think we invested about, I didn't calculate, but I think around 15 to 20.
Okay, great. And Oleg?
When we started, we originally focused on the Lightning Network as the way to scale Bitcoin in the engineering sense. And as we learned...
Chain capital. I think for Bitcoin company, on-chain is one of the best example because it comes from a totally different, Bitcoin is the best store of value, and also you gotta do your self-custody, even multi-sig, collaborative custody. That's the right way to do. Because at that time, I mean, since about 5 years ago, no other company doing that as good as on-chain consistently doing the right thing. Indeed, it's to educate people how to correctly hold your Bitcoin, something like that. So, I mean, this type of company definitely is I believe there will be a winner. Even recently, I say there will be the future of a banking, for example. But beyond that, what I'm trying to comment, why we didn't make many investment in recent years is because in my concept, I think maybe I'm the only one saying that recent months. I think in the future, it won't have any Bitcoin company. I would say because Bitcoin is the best store of value, Bitcoin is the best money. However, I mean, if you want to, let's say the payment thing, I mean, the Lightning thing, Lightning definitely is a good technology, is a fast payment, it's almost no cost. However, it should, what I'm trying to say is that, for example, Lightning definitely is a good technology to tap to pay by Bitcoin. However, you got to, I would say the Bitcoin Plus or the Lightning Plus, you got to still, I mean, the founder need to solve what people need, whatever people, I mean, for example, what the Web 2 world cannot solve, or the problem caused by Web 2, right? So you find some solution, find some good use case, find some good user experience, and then add in something related to Bitcoin, for example, like Lightning, or even, I mean, like say, combined with some Nostr, that's good too. I mean, something like that. So I think in the future, Bitcoin will be embedded into the problem the founder wanted to solve, instead of just purely, I'm the Bitcoin payment company, I'm the Bitcoin whatever company. That's my idea I share with everyone here.
Oleg, is there a particular recent investment you're most excited about?
Well, as we believe in Bitcoin as like the enabler of the new monetary system, and the core of a monetary system is banking. So building software or business that connects Bitcoin with the traditional banking system is something that we are paying a lot of attention to. And one of the companies that comes to my mind, which is not a recent one, but one worth noting, is actually Galoy, who is building an open source core banking software that seamlessly integrates Bitcoin into banking operations. We find this very useful for the future adoption of Bitcoin in what we believe would be like a convergence of traditional finance and traditional banking with Bitcoin banking. But speaking of the recent investments, we are very excited to, and we've been following Blockstream for a long time. And we believe that Blockstream is, as it's like one of the oldest companies in the space, has now all the tools and pieces of the infrastructure that can enable institutional adoption of Bitcoin, both as store of value, Bitcoin as a network for settlement, both of consumer payments such as through Lightning, and settlement for financial instruments such as with Liquid Network, and also issuance of the financial, tokenized financial instruments themselves, such as through the tools for issuance of assets on Liquid. So we're very excited to continue following Blockstream.
That's great. You almost answered my next question with your last remarks about Blockstream. And so, you know, in the past, a lot of the venture investment, understandably for Bitcoin, was focused on and off ramps, people making exchanges, wallets, payment solutions. But there's a lot of innovation happening in Bitcoin as well. A lot of stuff with respect to L2s, covenants, ARC, smart contracts, NFTs, ordinals, rare sats. And so if we start to look 3, 4, 5 years into the future, what types of trends that you think are investable do you expect to emerge? Oleg, let's continue with you.
It's true that as Bitcoin adoption and awareness of Bitcoin grows, there is like more and more activity that's gravitating towards Bitcoin. And as an engineering system, Bitcoin is looking for scaling. Some of the solutions are like trying to apply to scale Bitcoin. We believe in the most like simplistic engineering approach, that only systems that are built in the most simple and easy to describe way are the systems that will allow reliable and sustainable scaling. So that's kind of like the filter that we use to approach evaluating different attempts to build layers or to attach layers to Bitcoin. And we believe that the combination of Liquid and Lightning with interesting things like Cashew, Fedimint can form like a very interesting ecosystem that offers different sets of trade-offs for different applications, including assets issuance on Bitcoin, and including payments, including stable coins.
Jack?
Okay, yeah. Let me answer in a few directions I'm being very interested now. Number one is that innovation. I think Oleg also mentioned. The innovation, I'm not talking about the Bitcoin only project. I'm talking about, indeed, we are in El Salvador. Recently, I like to use this example. For example, let's put President Bukele, just like Elon Musk, right, as a founder or whatever, the CEO of the company. He adopted Bitcoin 3 more years ago, right? But he's not only doing the Bitcoin, but he's doing a lot of things, right? He have those gangsters, right, the criminal problem solved, you know. So the innovation is the key. So people, indeed, Bitcoin, I would say this is both ways. Bitcoin drive innovation. Also, innovation people also will, when understand Bitcoin, then they will also use Bitcoin as a part of their plan, part of their strategy. So we are looking for this type of founder, entrepreneur, can really use the right innovation mindset to drive the new product, new service. This is number one. So Bitcoin definitely will be part of it, but not all. Number two is that that's something interesting too. Premier Bitcoin, for example, of course they are non-profit, but I think what I like them doing, indeed we are also their sponsor for a year, is educate people, educate more people, either students or maybe even government people. I mean, all kind of organization. The world need more education on Bitcoin. So we will be interested, even for profit. Of course, the VC is gotta be for profit. I mean, doing the education, indeed, it's a good project because the world need more and more people need to understand Bitcoin. So education is a good topic the good area to focus on. Of course, use the technology. Maybe it's a free education, but you get your revenue from somewhere else. That's okay. So Bitcoin education also one of the area I'm interested.
I would say rise of L2 capabilities on Lightning, as you mentioned, Arc, Liquid. And then I also see, I'm very bullish on enterprise solutions where you can, have inheritance plan. There is big opportunity for, entrepreneurs who can have a B2B product, who can cater to, bigger banks that are into wealth management. They can have an enterprise solution where they can have a white label product. And apart from that, bigger companies which have major, massive cash flow, they can, copy the playbook of MetaPlanet and MicroStrategy. So there's a greenfield opportunity over there as well. And that's the best way to hedge inflation and currency debasement. And apart from that, Nostr is one where the intersection of, Lightning and Nostr, I see it as a trend and yeah.
Great. So I think we have somebody circulating with a microphone in the audience. If the audience, anybody has a question, get ready. Right before we turn it to audience Q&A, one final question from myself. I come from the United States. If you've been paying attention, the United States government has been quite hostile, operating with impunity and in some respects illegally against our industry. So my question to the panelists, how, if at all, does government regulation play into your investment decisions? Maybe Jack, we'll start with you.
Yeah, with the regulation clarity, that's something important for any startup, right? Even though, it's still okay to run for the business, however, the customer may scale, or even your stakeholder, other supplier, other shareholder, investor, potential investor will have a concern. So the regulation clarity is important. However, I think Bitcoin since gradually is more and more country treated as a commodity. So I don't think if for Bitcoin itself, without issue any layer 2 token or whatever shitcoin token, so I think it should be okay. So still, follow the regulation in that jurisdiction you are operating the business in. You gotta pay or even customer have to pay whatever tax the government require. I think it should be okay because the Bitcoin is a commodity. So keep in this mind, and then for example like US, maybe you send money, you send Bitcoin, you require money transfer license, something like that. So you have to do it. Otherwise, you have to collaborate with some other, even like Stripe. I know they do it early day, something like that. So you got to try to find some way to be more compliant with the current regulation. Otherwise, the business cannot go on.
Kush, Oleg, anything to add?
I don't have much expertise on regulations, but from what I feel is you're from US, but the best part is after Donald Trump, I think, I'm bullish on Bitcoin more, and I think this is the golden period for entrepreneurs also. And still I feel there are some countries where, there is capital gains on Bitcoin that needs to be sorted out. And something like SAP 21, that's a act which I think with more and more players coming into this space, I think banks will, need to rethink about it. And yes, and as Trump said, they are keen on strategy reserves, and I hope that will happen, and we'll have, a fair policies and a lenient policy regulation-wise for Bitcoin. That's the only hope I have.
Anything to add, Oleg?
We believe that Bitcoin and Bitcoin ecosystem provide the best and the most safe way for the builders to build in a clear regulatory standing with clear understanding what the technology does and what you can do with it and where you need to get regulated, where you don't. And with the recent developments in many countries, it's only going to get a tailwind. So it's always time to build in Bitcoin. Now it's even better time. Don't build on shitcoins. Continue building on Bitcoin.
The only time better than yesterday to build on Bitcoin is today. That's what I just heard. Let's go to the audience. Does anybody have a question for our esteemed panelists? Gentleman in the front row. Does he have a microphone? No microphone. You can just shout.
You get it. Thanks, Jack. So I wanted to be like totally brutally honest, and I've actually spoken to some of you or your associates before. So my company is a startup. We build Bitcoin Lightning payments integrations for large tier 1 and 2 retailers, both physical stores and online. And would you invest in my company, given that 99.9% of people with crypto do not intend to spend it?
I didn't hear the last part. 99% of people do not do something.
99.9% of people who hold crypto do not intend to spend it. They intend to hold it.
And so is there a question here?
Would you invest in my company, given that my market is tiny, because most crypto holders don't want to spend it, and I'm a Bitcoin payments company?
Oleg will field the question.
Yeah, I hope I was able to hear the question correctly, because the sound between here and there is really bad. But if I heard the question correctly, the question was about the market size for startups building payment systems relying on monetizing the spend of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin technology stack is a financial and is also a technological innovation. All the technological innovations go through the phases, through the waves of adoption, from early minority geeks, et cetera, to majority. And timing of a technology matters a lot in terms of how much adoption it can get. So when you say that people hold Bitcoin and don't want to spend it, and we see the same, we think what it means is actually right now the best time is to unlock the potential of Bitcoin as saving and as collateral. So this is where we see the next really big wave, almost like a floodgate of economic activity, unlocking the value of Bitcoin as collateral and the value of wealth preservation in Bitcoin. And the next wave is probably going to be the wave of settlement. So settlement can be in retail, it can be institutional settlement, or it can also be moving liquidity between different pools and different ecosystems. This is like a very underexplored area that has been previously discovered by a lot of shitcoin blockchains that created all this kind of silos of layer 2s and payment systems, which actually revealed that when they're all disconnected, you cannot really build a sustainable economic system. But with Bitcoin you can, because you can have you can go in and out of different systems based on Bitcoin. So settlement will probably be the next big technological adoption wave, where Lightning and Liquid will be kind of a glue of different other ecosystem, both institutional, retail, and everything else.
We have time for one quick final burning question, if there's one in the audience. Going once. In the back, gentleman with a black shirt. Run faster.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So you guys spoke about having invested into some companies already. Now the specific question is, how many companies founded by Salvadorians have you guys invested in, and what has been your experience so far?
Has anybody invested in a Salvadorian company, local business here?
Founded by Salvadorians.
Founder. Oleg, you're shaking your head.
We did invest in about 5 or more companies based in El Salvador or building business in El Salvador. And we believe that El Salvador is going through an astonishing transformation by magnitude of economic effect, which we're not yet fully realizing. And we believe that El Salvador will create a lot of economic opportunity, both for Bitcoin startups and for the economy in general, through the transformational changes that are happening in El Salvador right now. We hope that it will be easier for Bitcoin startups to bank in El Salvador. Well, we hope it will be easier once and hopefully soon.
Yeah, I think since we are here, almost the end of the whole conference, I would like to encourage Salvadorian founder. Indeed, even though we haven't invested in any El Salvador company, but I spoke to several founders here. I think indeed this is a really good place for innovation, for building your business with Bitcoin related. Why? Two things. One is Bitcoin is a legal tender. No other country it has El Salvador this kind of status yet. So it's the best place. Also, freedom of speech. This is what President Bukele said, right? So freedom of speech, Bitcoin as a legal tender, so you can do whatever Bitcoin transaction is illegal, right? Unlike other countries, you have to be more careful about those related regulation or whatever, restriction. So also freedom of speech, and also, as I mentioned earlier, it's an innovation center. Of course, I found out that the one thing maybe need to be tackled a little bit later, but that will be wait until US have a Bitcoin strategic reserve something, because the bank here still they have to accept the global system of banking. So if the US do not, but it's okay. Don't do too much with the banking related for now. Doing other things, doing other product, doing other service. To help the user experience, create your business.
We're already over time. Thank you. Please join me in a round of applause for our esteemed panelists, Oleg, Jack, Kush.
Awesome stuff, y'all. Nice job, nice job. All right, if you guys take your mics, got them. Take them all in. Nice job. All right, give it up for them one more time here.